you doing?
My name's David Fisher. I'm with the San Luis Rio Grande Railroad in Alamosa, Colorado. This is your guys' car you're working on. Its configuration of the tanks is very similar, almost exact, okay? So that's why we're using this car as our example for you. Okay, this is an ABDW pipe bracket assembly. Right here you have the service side, the emergency side, and your pipe bracket, which is the center portion. Okay, we're going to go underneath the car and show you some of the pipe configurations that we did on this one so that you can understand and get an idea what you need to do. This here is an ABDW pipe bracket, same thing you have up there above, and I've just labeled 1, 3, 10, 2, and 5. I'm sorry, my 5 is a little screwed up. These are stamps. They're inside the pipe bracket. They'll correspond to each one of the ports to designate where they go to. I've color coded them. Hopefully that makes it a little easier for you guys to follow this with me. We have number 2 with the red, which is your service. I have number 5, which is excuse me 1 second. 2 is red, that is the emergency side. 5 is blue, that'd be your service side. I did not color code number 10. I have number 1, yellow, that's your brake pipe supply. And then number 3, at the bottom, that's your auxiliary side, and that's done in white. If you go up here and look at the pipe bracket, there again we have our basic emergency side and the service side. The tanks over here that we've utilized, once you cut your UC12 bracket apart, you've taken your unions off your other bracket. The pipes that you have here, take them all the way back to your tanks. Take the T's off and everything, strip them down to where it's just a bare tank and start from there. This larger tank on this side we've utilized for the emergency side because it requires a 3,500 cubic inch amount of volume minimum. That's going to go to number 1. I'm sorry, number 2, up here at the top right hand corner. Then we have for your service side, we utilized the smaller tank of the 2 to make sure that we accommodated the 2,500 cubic inch volume. That one piped over here to number 5, top left hand corner. Working our way down, this center port, the small one, is your exhaust. It can be piped to open air. What I did was I piped it over to the retainer's valve at the end of the car. That was my choice there. But it can pipe to open air also. It's just an exhaust. Your main brake pipe here that comes off, comes around to this cutout cock and dust collector, is going to pipe over to number 1. It's going to be a 1-inch pipe on the lower left hand corner. Then you have number 3 in the lower right hand corner. That's going to be this auxiliary tank right here above us. You have the same tank on your car also. On this particular car, I made the choice to tie it in to this other pipe coming across off the other main reservoir line because this pipe had to go somewhere. It was originally piped into a UC12 valve just like yours, and I just accommodated it there. That was my choice that I made. Normally you won't utilize anything on main reservoir except for air activated toilets and air actuated doors, and that's all that's ever used for. Otherwise it's just a through and through run. This unit here is heavy. When you take the old one off, you really need to pay attention. You take each side off first independently. The through and through bolts on your UC12 unit, I mean, it's heavy. You need to take one side off, take the other side off. Then you'll have all through and through bolts that come through the top to bottom. Get something underneath that bracket, like a platform jack or anything. Don't try to do it by yourself or like one person by their hand, because you'll hurt yourself. This bracket for the new unit here is different than the old UC12 bracket. Its configuration on the bolts are slightly different, so you'll have to make a template and basically an adapter. What I used here was some rectangle stock, a plate, and I just drilled the new holes, and I put grade 8 all thread all the way through with my nylocks on there. And then I welded, of course, the plate to the bracket to the original carrier. You want shear effect and you want mechanical joint so that you have a double standard of safety there. You don't ever want to just hang something that heavy with just bolts or with just a weld. You want something to back the other up. It's very heavy though. Make sure you don't do that by yourself. Don't hurt yourself at all on this, okay? This is basically what you're going to need to do. This will get you through where you're at, and you can go from there. And thank you for your time. Hopefully this helps you guys out.